date namin. Kasi ipa-vlog ka tayo. Yan ang mga kasama namin sa date. Uy! Thank you. Ay, how cute! I love it. Yeah, you know why? It's not even nalulunod with the sauce.
Exactly. Lick it. Love you, lick it.
No.
Guys! Why?
Hey everyone! We are home now from our dinner in Toyo. And what is your review of the place, Lovey?
It's really good. This is a Toyo donut.
Okay, ito lang yung masasabi ko sa Toyo. We came for a meal and went home with an advocacy. No, but seriously speaking, my gosh, I don't even have the right words for it. But all I can say is that it's an experience. I don't think that you can replicate it if you just ordered from them and they gave it to you, which you can't do anyway. But it's also the whole culture and tradition behind everything that they will serve you. And kanina, masasabi ko lang, mas masarap ang torta kaysa sa bangus. My gosh. I really gained a very deep appreciation for our own produce, whatever we have in this nation, after eating in Toyo. Sabi niya, we got a cheaper meal daw kasi sinabi sa amin, ano daw ba yung kukunin namin? Sabi niya, yung 5 course daw ba or yung 8 course? Ang sabi ng asawa ko, yung 1.9 lang. So, pinauwian pa kami ng ganito. Okay, so this is a crusty pinipig loaf. Nung tinanong namin, bakit ganun? Ba't may pauwi pa? Kasi sa kultura daw natin mga Pilipino, hindi talaga pwedeng umuwi na hindi ka, number 1, busog na busog. Sabi ng nanay mo o ng mga tita mo. At pangalawa, na uuwi kang walang pabaon. Hi everyone! We're holding our
Wedding vows.
original copy. As in, ito yon.
It doesn't fade, no?
Oo nga eh.
What printer did we use?
So we're gonna talk about our marriage vows today. We're gonna revisit our marriage vows. The one that we actually held during our wedding day. We're going to share with you some things that we feel are still true about the wedding vows up until today, 12 years later.
Yep.
Ano ba ang marriage vows? Ano ba yon and why is it important?
You know,
Like
I don't
with the-
know where it started or when. But it seems like it's not even something that the couple promises to each other. But it seems to me that it would be like something the officiating minister asks of the couple. Yeah, there's a marriage, there's a marriage, there's a marriage. No, what is your commitment ba to each other? I think that's where the vows came from.
I was kind of like dumbfounded when I had to write it already. And I was like, how do you write marriage vows? Like you have all of these things in your head and in your heart. I think I was really nervous. Kasi parang how do you put an entire lifetime in one vow?
Yeah.
Trying to say a lot of things here. You're trying to say the present and you're trying to say the future.
Yeah.
And that future is not even that apparent to you yet.
Yeah.
So parang, okay, I remember I was reading out yung first version ko kay Nika. Tapos meron akong, Nika is like my pamangkin. So sila yung kasama ko sa kwarto. Tapos nung sinusulat ko at binabasa ko sa kanila, parang meron ako in the presence of all these witnesses. Sabi niya, parang sobrang, naman, kakandidato ka ba? Parang ganun.
I just love personalized ones because how people own it and tell their story.
When you were writing it, what were you feeling?
I felt like my words were not enough.
How do you even put it on paper? What is something that is just, beyond what you can foresee as of the moment?
Ako parang, are my words enough to capture you, like how I see you, and then how I feel about you? Parang ganon. I don't want to cheapen it with just the most beautiful woman in the world. Parang ganon. It's not just that eh. Parang ganon.
Saka you don't want it to be like a bunch of like quotable quotes lang di ba? But how about when you were reciting it? Like how did you feel?
One thing I loved about our wedding, and someone gave us this advice, it was to take snapshots, diba, all throughout the wedding of like what you're doing, what's going on, para you remember it for yourself. Diba? To not be like such an event organizer, but to be in the moment. That as soon as you came out, it was like there was nobody else in the beach. I didn't even know the effect of our vows
That's
on other
true.
people.
Kasi I'm trying to think of it now, hindi ko nga
Ikaw lang kausap ko nun eh.
Ang naalala ko lang, natawa sila sa isang part. Mamaya sasabihin ko kung saan sila natawa. Pero, for me, how did I feel? I think, because ngayon lang natin natanong to sa sarili natin, na ngayon ko lang din naisip na, oo nga, no, that was it. Na there was just extreme focus on being in the moment. For some of you, you probably don't know me. I'm a very introverted person. And sometimes, I don't like public stuff. Hindi bagay sa trabaho ko. Somebody like me, looking back at a moment like that, would have thought na that would have been very, very awkward for me. But I was not awkward. I was actually, I think my emotion the entire wedding was that I was just so sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We are going to share 12 things about our marriage vows from 12 years ago. But it's going to be cut up like this. 3, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, this is mine.
We're gonna read our own descriptions of the other and say true
Is
or
it still
false.
true or false?
I think everything I've described here is still true.
Okay.
So I was right, basically. So beautiful, definitely. But I put here specifically yung in anything, like you're beautiful with makeup, no makeup, in a gown, or in t-shirt and jeans. And yeah, 12 years later, waking up next to you. I mean, sometimes at night when I can't sleep, I just watch you sleep. So, check, still true for me. Alright, next that I captured here is just the anything goesness of our discussions. It's already here. You're funny, witty, and quick. We talk about Disney movies in 1 minute, and history, theology, or psychology the next. So there, that quickness. So beauty and intelligence.
Check.
And then finally, yung faith in God. And what's interesting about it is that I highlighted the fact that you make mistakes. You love God, not in a religious or pious way, not even in a perfect and pristine way, but in a sincere way. It's still true, di ba? You make mistakes, but you're quick to turn to Him when you realize it. If anything, Joe 12 years ago did not know how true this was going to be.
That is the same thing that I feel about
really?
like reading everything na parang I just was barely scratching the surface of how true the words I would be like saying for
let
the
me
vow.
wrap up mine na lang. Real. That sums it all up. Just real. Diba? The beauty, the intelligence, the faith, it's all real.
Isipin nyo naman 12 years ago to, way before naging buzzword ang authenticity. Ako na nagsasabi, totoo pa rin yun sa akin.
Yeah.
Hindi ko talaga kayang hindi maging real. Okay, like what I was saying earlier when I described you. Ayan, ganyan. Yan pa rin siya. Yung sinasabi ko dito, geeky-looking guy in a fancy party, dark-rimmed eyeglasses, roaming around the room, trying to juggle, mingling with other people, and playing with his PSP. Ganyan pa rin siya. And you're just like really comfortably awkward. Diba? You're that kind of person na you see in a party and you're like, he doesn't really quite fit any box. But he's great to have, and he's comfortably so. He's unapologetic about being that way.
Yeah, I just want to be with you. What's wrong with you?
Okay, so here. Another thing, when I said yes to submit to you is good love, I've seen it over and over how you've come through something so logically impossible, this wedding included, and I'm always left marveling at how you always know that they will. You are wise and discerning beyond your experience, beyond your years. It's that kind you can't tell where it's coming from. You always seem to know to do the right thing. And the faith behind what you know is simply amazing. Siguro, yung summary lang nun is yung, ayan, parang pansin ko lang sa kanya, lalo na nung wedding namin, sobrang obvious na, ako kasi yung street smart, nagtatrabaho na ako ng 12 years old. Tapos lahat yan, parang sobrang common sense yan sa akin. Huwag mo nang gagawin yan sa akin, it won't work. Or just don't get into it. And then he pushes for it. And I'm like, that is just so nonsense, it's so illogical, ganyan. And then it works. And I would be proven for the nth time na, tama pala yung asawa ko or yung back then, my fiancé. Ganun ka pa rin. And that is also how I know na you're so spirit-led in the sense na you can't possibly know these things because you haven't experienced them and yet you have the wisdom to know kung ano yung dapat mong gawin. Yun. So yun yung second thing about you. And I'd like to highlight the fact...
It's the PSP.
Na sinabi ko na the faith behind what you know is amazing. What I meant by that is, he's such a geeky guy nga, di ba? Na parang, yung head smart, alam mo na matalino. Lagi kong ang joke na I married Wikipedia. Pero, when I see that his knowledge is not like dead knowledge, na yung puro information lang, na it's done with faith and love, doon ako lalong na-encourage na this is how you apply knowledge.
Actually, that kind of knowledge is not really knowledge. If it's applied, it's wisdom.
Sino yan?
You know?
Kilala ko yan. Okay, the third thing. The third thing is quite long. The summary of it is really more of like how you lead by loving. And that is still true. However, I would have to say that there was a part in our marriage that you stopped being that way. And alam niya yon. So I'm not like doing this to
and that's
na
even,
hindi niya alam.
isn't that in our
ganun.
mental health podcast? Like we talked about it there.
Yeah, oo. Nag-start pa nga ako dito na parang sabi ko na I respect you so much for knowing that there are times when you yourself must submit. Kasi di ba leadership is like everyone should submit to you. Pero siya alam niya when to submit. Sabi ko na I especially like it when you submit to me. Naniniwala kasi talaga ako ng isang magaling na leader or head of the home knows when to submit. Meaning...
No. I never submit. Ako nagde-decide at sinasabi ko, ang gusto ko ay ang gawin ang sinasabi mo.
Ano?
Okay?
Yan
At
ang
ang tamang gawin ay makinig sa'yo. At...
So yun, sinabi ko dito, seriously, I appreciate this about you, love, how you are so fair and just to me in this relationship. Makes me confident that your leadership in our home will never be tyrannical nor coercive. And then I even said here, I can already see that our children will want to follow you the way I do because you lead by loving and not by forcing. You know, I know how to do that because I know it's the right thing to do. You get what I mean? Na parang I was taught that at least know when I became a Christian na you lead by loving and not by forcing. But it's not a natural thing for me. I'm like, if I can just force all of you to do what I want you to do, that's how I lead.
That's not what you
but
want.
you are very natural in this. Like, and I think you get this from your mom a
We
lot.
were just talking about it in lunch earlier, and I was having lunch with my brother and some friends, and we were like, and he was like, "What is it ba kaya?" And we were like, well, you have mom's creativity and you think like Pop and you have Pop's heart. Parang ganun. And ako, parang I have mom's heart and Pop's brains. Parang ganun.
Yun, talaga, totoo. Yung mommy niya talaga yung susi sa kabutihan ng puso niya. Sana wag niya makalimutan. Huwag ka nang tumulad sa iba.
Thank you, Mom. 3 things you said and we will grade you.
Teacher ko pala to.
No, as a customer. Your Amazon
ano,
review. Your customer review. 5 stars ka dito sa lahat ng mga to.
Toray.
Yes. Unconditional love and devotion to you, the kind that picks no season and no reason, but just loves at all times. Even in the hardest ones, when you aren't so likable, I will remember to love you. I particularly like, though, that at times when you fail and your trusty tricks don't work anymore, I will remind you not to lose hope because I'm still here and will always be your biggest fan. So yeah, for me that
Oy, totoo yun. I'm his biggest fan.
In fact, sometimes when you get mad at me, I get irritated. I'm like, grabe naman, dami naman reklamo ng babaeng to. Ang harsh niya sa akin. But I realize na it's because nga, it comes from that also. Na you're like, no, I know you. Sometimes in very raw moments we'll fight and then you'll be like, I don't care if this person does that. Or then you like enumerate this list of people that you don't care if they're like that. But you're like, but you're not like that. And I know that and I'm so mad at you and you're so mad. Tapos kinikilig ako parang, The other one is I promise to never quit this exclusive club.
I guess, I fail in that.
What?
Because I wanted to quit.
But you didn't.
Oh, okay. Alright. Sige, hindi pala.
The two of us who will start a family will be the two of us left when the kids have gone to pursue their own purpose. And yeah, in the past 12 years, we keep talking about that. Just talk and have an uninterrupted conversation. That's still a dream for us. If anything, we love that dream even more now.
Yeah.
And obviously the last one is that all our hopes will be met because God is the center of our marriage and I made the right decision, which is to marry you. And I think the two parts about that I think are true and I really feel every day is I've never seen you even once want to undo marrying me. Like you've talked about, it hurts, I'm in pain, but there's never ever like a Doctor Strange time machine na I'll go back and not do this again. You just never doubted. It's the second element I want to point out. It's not me, but it's God that you obeyed in marrying me. And to me, honestly, guys, sorry to get kind of preachy, but that's really why you want God in your marriage, because we'll fail each other, but if you are following God, then He's the one who'll keep it together.
Like now, going through it is like, oh my gosh, I almost quit. Yung mga ganon, yung parang, I said here that I won't quit, I won't,
Those
sure
are
pa
all
ako.
in the mental health episode, okay? So if you're wondering, go watch it. I think I failed one.
I think you failed a lot.
Where I promised to have long hair.
I promise to be patient and kind, especially when I don't feel like it. I see you try that talaga all the time. I think na some of your like inner vows that parang made you distance yourself from me is out of that vow na I don't want to be impatient and I don't want to be unkind to her.
And that moment of stepping away became weeks, months of just being away. Of just being walled off to her, which caused more pain than the shouting would have done.
So here, also another thing that you said is to make difficult decisions with your partnership, of course, and to make sure that we are following God's will for our family. We do make a lot of decisions on a daily basis, like magkano lang talaga yung budget natin dito, di ba? Yung mga everyday life, ganon. But then there are those years wherein you just have to make something that's so difficult, something that kind of like will make or break you. It has been true that when you said to make sure that we are following God's will for our family, you really do that. Alright, and for my third thing, I promise to continually pursue you and make you feel loved and wanted because you are worth it. I really do feel that I have cost him a lot, and it really takes a knowing of this is worth all the costs in my life for him to actually just keep losing stuff over for me. And totoo yung continually pursue and make you feel loved and wanted kasi ganun talaga siya. Oh, yung other half ng third ko, yung sinabi niya na I recognize that next to God, you are my top priority. You're my best friend, my partner, my wife. Na He makes me second to God. Yung parang after God, wala nang iba. So, ikaw, anong...
This was fun.
Yeah, it was. It was fun.
I think I'm really
Reading our
happy
vows.
about the way we knew each other. We didn't lack for friends. We didn't lack for people who were interested in being close to us for whatever reason, romantically or not romantically. But we were both looking for someone who we could be real with. And so that's what we fell in love with. Nice to know that 12 years later, after being married, 14 years after we were dating, tama pala yung nakita natin sa isa't isa. Kung sa basketball, yung draft pick mo, kasi 3-point shooter to. 12 years na yung career niya, 3-point shooter pa rin siya. Tama ka. Gets mo yun?
Nakalam sa basketball. I think one thing that this exercise made me realize was yung dami mo pala rin talagang sinabi sa vows mo na di mo rin kayang gawin
Hindi talaga.
on your own.
Look at what I said, never to talk to you in harsh tones. That was broken. Let me read it.
Hindi ko na sinabi yung mga hindi niya nagawa.
No, let's read it. Not to snap at you or speak to you in harsh tones. Do you know when that was broken? That was broken that night. I was so irritated with her that night.
No, but seriously, I mean, like, the practice or like the activity of like going through your vows again will make you realize pala how not enough you are and how fallen and broken you are. But also at the same time, kaya pala very important na ilagay mo si God dun sa vows mo. Parang by the grace of God, ganito, dun lang namin magagawa itong mga bagay na to. And I think that's the truest part of all of the vows that we made, di ba? For each other. Na
Si Lord
gusto ko to lahat gawin, pero yung ending lang talaga nito, kaya lang naman talaga yan. Pag si Lord, yung gumawa niyan para sa atin. Kasi kung left to our own, no, on our own, and you know, whatever issues we have in our lives, mahirap talaga siyang, it's hard to stay true to your very own vows, kahit ikaw pa ang sumulat nito. So yun yung isang na-realize ko sa kanya. If there are people out there who are, like couples who are about to get married, is there any tip that you could give them for like writing their vows?
And I would recommend, be honest to the two of you and before God first. You want God and your spouse to know that in writing those vows, you saw them and that you value them.
We have a couple of like wedding vows na unforgettable talaga para sa amin. And those were really always something that stayed true to what was in their hearts, and then also at the same time to their personalities.
Yeah.
Kasi iba-iba rin talaga ng personality. Yung iba talaga nagpapatawa pa sila sa nila, sa vows nila kasi personality nila yon. It's not a performance, but because they like to laugh, ganun. So, all I can say is kung gagawa kayo ng vows ninyo, itago nyo. Para ma-revisit din ninyo. So yun, I hope you guys got to enjoy this, and if you are going to write your vows, you want to share it with us, please go ahead and share it in the comment section below or on our social media pages. If you want to do the activity also, na kayo rin, revisit nyo yung vows nyo, sabihin nyo sa amin, tag nyo kami, kasi we really want to know how it's been for you.
Which
It's such an amazing, enriching activity.
Which parts have you done? If you tag us, we'd love to hear it.
Happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see you again next week.